This is straight, so boom. That's what I used to teach. Everyone sort of, not new to everyone, or when we're in the canoe, are you guys sitting crooked and are you thinking of driving, which we're sort of trying to do? There's nothing wrong with that, and I still do that. But this is all we've ever done. Like we're trying to twist as much as we can. We're trying to use the core muscles, which is correct. You can last a long time. But Tahiti are not doing that, as we found out. This is what Tahiti are doing, and this is what we're trying to do, and it's taken me a long while to do it. I actually ended up going a lot slower for a long time. Now I feel like I've actually got two different strokes. So for me, I've got, I'm going to say my original stroke, which is what I do when I'm tired or I need a rest. I've been doing it for 15 years. And then when I need to attack or start of a race, then I'll do what Tahiti do. And so I'm sort of doing that, and then so changing sides is the rest. I'm now changing sides and changing strokes, so I feel like I'm getting like two rests. You know what I mean? Like you get tired, you change sides. If I get really tired, I'll just start twisting again, recover, and then I'll start attacking again. So what Tahiti are doing, we used to say catch, entry, power phase, exit, recovery, right? I want you to think differently now. The stroke, we used to do these drills, you used to be like, everyone used to reach out and pause, and then you take a stroke, reach out and pause. I want you to think about the stroke starting here at the exit. That's where the stroke actually starts, and finishes, and starts. It starts at the exit. So we used to also say, take your paddle out your hips. Now in theory, and then again, I was reciting what I got taught myself. We used to always say, take your paddle out your hips. In theory, and I used to always talk about it, is correct, but the way Tahiti look at it is, yes, obviously, the most powerful part of the stroke is when the blade is, say, there, which is right at our hips, when it's going to be the deepest and, say, at its straightest. The blade's catching as much water as it can. But as long as you have pressure, it's not slipping, you can, like a pole vaulter. They're literally putting the paddle in and they're pole vaulting past, not that we've all pole vaulted, but you know what everyone can visualize how a pole vaulter works. We're putting the pole vault in, and then they're launching up, and they're pushing all the way off till here because they still have contact. So as long as you have contact with the water, you can still push the canoe forward. So I used to always harp out at the hips. You watch Tahiti now; they go all the way back, and they go all the way back. And again, it's only if you have, and again, you learn this with one man at a time. You have pressure. If you don't have pressure, if it's gone, then you can take it out. So what Tahiti are doing is they're starting back here. This is the start of their stroke. And it makes total sense, and I don't know why we never saw this, because we're watching them race, and you watch them in real time, and it just looks like they're just paddling really fast. These guys are just spinning their wheels, but we can't do that. But you slow it down, and you see something a little different, is they're starting back here. What they're doing is, I'm going to exaggerate, like I always do, they're leaning back. They all start here. You watch before the start of a race. Watch some videos when you go home. Watch the start of a race. You watch Tahiti. They're all paddling with their hands on their laps. Like in Australia, we're all like reaching out, waiting for the flag. They're all sitting here. For the biggest race, for any sprint, they sit there like that. And when the gun goes, they're actually sitting back. When the gun goes, they, with their body weight, 6 guys in a canoe, they are all lunging on the catch. Is what they're doing. They are literally, and they're not trying to overextend, they're not trying to get as far as they can. They're just trying to, this is the start of the stroke, they're trying to attack the water as quick as they can. So as fast as they can through the air. Because obviously, when their paddles in the water, they have control. This is especially for the V1, they're steering. They put their paddle in the water, and they hold it in the water for as long as they can. With the blade face, I'm going to say that's positive blade. And obviously then we go, that's a negative angle. They're trying to keep a positive angle. So when I say positive, it means that bottom hand or the top hand is behind their bottom hand. So as soon as my top hand comes past my bottom hand, I go to a different angle, so a negative angle. So as they paddle, they're trying to keep, it's very hard to do, but if you think of it, you can keep it a split longer. They're trying to keep their top hand behind their bottom hand for as long as they can, all the way back here. And they're jumping, trying to keep it as opposed to, so I'm sort of going all over the place, and I think one thing, I'm like this. They're starting here. They are lunging on the catch, but they're not lunging too far, they're doing nothing. They're just going, boom, like just wherever they just fall in the water, like they're trying to spear a fish. They're trying to drive the water down. So they're not reaching as far as they can, they're just boom. And then they're holding as much water as they can. As slow as they can, all the way back to here. As soon as they get, this is their exit, this is their recovery, is the last second of their stroke. And they get to here, and then boom, as slow as they can. Boom, as slow as they can. It's good. That's sort of what, that's their new rhythm. Sounds easy. Everyone in Australia have done the opposite. Slow recovery, big breath, breathe, and then we go boom. Slow recovery. This is how I used to paddle. And that's what we thought Tahiti were doing. We thought they were spinning, but they were doing the complete opposite rhythm. So we need to break, and we're starting to do it in Hawaii. And it's taken us a long time, but we're starting to break that rhythm, we're starting to do a new rhythm, and it is actually starting to work. It's amazing when you get the feeling of 6 guys going boom, slow, boom. It's incredible. It's a whole different feeling. The canoe takes on a whole different meaning. You go back to your old stroke of slow through the air, recovery, obviously they're super fit. You do have to be fit to do this. But getting fit's easier, remember? Rhythm is hard, rhythm and technique is hard, getting fit's easy. They're going fast through the air, slow through the water. This is the one thing we're going to focus on today. I guarantee no one's going to get it. It's so hard. Because your whole life you've been going ready, and then we go ready. I'm going to talk more about what I want you guys to do as well now during the stroke. But this rhythm is the new rhythm. 6 man is impossible to get straight away. It's impossible. The 1 man is where you got to try it. V1 even more so, because not as many people paddle V1 here. I know Forbes is trying to get a real push on V1. When your paddle's out of the water, Tahiti say we have no control. When the paddle's in the water, especially when they have control, they can do whatever they want. They can tell the canoe, it doesn't matter how they're paddling, as long as their paddle's in the water, they can tell the V1 where to go. As soon as it's out, they can straight back in. Where am I going? And then it looks like they're all just armed, but they're just getting the paddle back in the water. They're doing it with a bit of, they're throwing their weight, they're trying to throw the canoe forward and they catch themselves. And then they're basically controlling themselves. They're nearly, let's say pole vaulting, that was sort of a good analogy to realise that they're always pushing down with their top arm. That's what I was getting at. Sorry. They're not twisting like we are. And you watch it, you'll see they're not. We still twist again. It's more from a surf ski stroke, and you still talk to